It's June 19th, 2016. Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Oracle Arena in Oakland. The Cleveland Cavaliers are tied with the Golden State Warriors 89-89 with under 2 minutes to play. Andre Iguodala steals the ball, races down the court, and rises for what should be the layup that breaks the tie. And out of nowhere, a streak of wine and gold cuts across the screen. Lebron James, sprinting from the opposite end of the floor, leaps and pins the ball against the glass. The block. The block heard around the world. Minutes later, LeBron lifts a championship trophy over his head, tears streaming down his face, screaming into the Cleveland night, "Cleveland, this is for you!" After 52 years without a major sports title, after the heartbreaks and the disappointments, the kid from Akron had kept his promise to a city. But to understand why that moment meant everything, you have to go back. Back to a single mother. Back to a tiny apartment in Ohio. Back to the beginning. Lebron James was born on December 30th, 1984, in Akron, Ohio, to a 16-year-old mother named Gloria James. His father, Anthony McClelland, had a criminal record and wanted nothing to do with raising a child. So from day one, it was Gloria and LeBron against the world. And the world was not kind. Gloria struggled to find steady work. They moved from apartment to apartment, sometimes staying with relatives, sometimes finding their own place, sometimes losing it. By the time LeBron was 5 years old, they had moved at least a dozen times. He missed 83 days of school in the 4th grade alone. Not because he didn't want to learn, but because there was no stability, no routine, no permanent address. When LeBron was 9 years old, Gloria made one of the hardest decisions a mother can make. She sent her son to live with the family of Frank Walker, a youth football coach, so he could have structure, regular meals, and a warm bed. It was at the Walker's house that LeBron began to find peace. He went to school every single day that year. He played organized sports for the first time, and someone handed him a basketball. Frank Walker introduced him to the game, and LeBron took to it like he'd been born holding a ball. Within months, he was the best player on every court he stepped onto. By middle school, LeBron was playing AAU basketball for the Northeast Ohio Shooting Stars, alongside 3 friends, Sion Cotton, Drew Joyce III, and Willie McGee, who would call themselves the Fab Four. They were inseparable. They won together. They lost together. And when it came time for high school, all 4 of them made the same stunning decision. Instead of attending Akron's predominantly black public school, they chose St. Vincent St. Mary, a small private Catholic school. The choice was controversial, but the friends stuck together. What happened next changed high school basketball forever. As a freshman at St. V, LeBron averaged 18 points per game and led the Fighting Irish to a state championship. As a sophomore, he averaged 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists, won another state title, and earned the Ohio Mr. Basketball Award. By his junior year, he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated under the headline, "The Chosen One." He was 17 years old. His high school games were being moved to the University of Akron's arena to accommodate the crowds. They were televised on ESPN. Scalpers were charging hundreds of dollars for tickets to watch a teenager play prep basketball. By his senior season, LeBron James was the most famous high school athlete in American history. He was averaging over 30 points a game, dunking on grown men, throwing no-look passes that NBA scouts said were already pro-level. He was named Gatorade National Player of the Year twice. He won 3 state championships. And when the 2003 NBA draft arrived, there was no suspense, no debate, no drama about who would go first. The Cleveland Cavaliers, his hometown team, had won the lottery. And on June 26, 2003, NBA Commissioner David Stern walked to the podium and said the words an entire state had been waiting for. With the first pick in the 2003 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select LeBron James from St. Vincent St. Mary High School. He was 18 years old. He had a $90 million Nike contract before he had ever played a professional game. The expectations were absurd, impossible, suffocating. And then he went out and exceeded all of them. In his NBA debut, LeBron scored 25 points against the Sacramento Kings. He averaged nearly 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists as a rookie, becoming the youngest player ever to win the Rookie of the Year award. By his second season, he was an all-star. By his third, he was averaging 31 points a game and leading Cleveland to the playoffs. And in 2007, in just his fourth season, LeBron James did something that defined his early career. In Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Detroit Pistons, with his team needing him desperately, he scored Cleveland's final 25 points. He scored 29 of their last 30. He finished with 48 points, dragging an outmatched Cavaliers roster to the NBA Finals on his back. He was 22 years old. The Cavaliers were swept by the San Antonio Spurs in those finals. And over the next 3 seasons, LeBron grew into the most complete player in basketball, winning back-to-back MVP awards in 2009 and 2010. But Cleveland kept losing in the playoffs. The team around him wasn't good enough. And in the summer of 2010, LeBron James faced the biggest decision of his life. And he made it in the most controversial way imaginable. It was called The Decision. A 1-hour ESPN special broadcast live in which LeBron announced he was leaving Cleveland to take his talents to South Beach, joining Dwyane Wade and Chris Bosh with the Miami Heat. The reaction was nuclear. Cavaliers fans burned his jerseys in the streets. Owner Dan Gilbert wrote a furious open letter calling him a coward. Overnight, the most beloved athlete in Ohio became one of the most hated figures in American sports. LeBron, just 25 years old, had become basketball's villain. And it got worse before it got better. In his first finals with Miami in 2011, LeBron played some of the worst basketball of his career, shrinking against the Dallas Mavericks. Miami lost. The world piled on. They said he didn't have it. They said he couldn't close. They said the king had no crown. What happened next was a transformation. LeBron retreated. He worked with Hakeem Olajuwon to develop a post-game. He came back the next season hungrier, harder, sharper. In 2012, he won his third MVP, his first championship, and his first Finals MVP, leading Miami over the Oklahoma City Thunder. The narrative had cracked, and in 2013, against the San Antonio Spurs, LeBron delivered one of the greatest finals performances in history. In Game 6, with Miami down 5 with 28 seconds left, Ray Allen hit the most famous three-pointer in NBA history. But it was LeBron's missed three, his offensive rebound, his kick-out, that made the play possible. In Game 7, he scored 37 points to win his second straight title and second straight Finals MVP. The villain had become a champion. Twice. But something was tugging at him. In the summer of 2014, LeBron James sat down and wrote a letter. Not to a network, not on television, but in Sports Illustrated. The headline read, "I'm coming home." He was returning to Cleveland. To finish what he started. To bring a championship to the city that raised him. "In Northeast Ohio," he wrote, "nothing is given, everything is earned. You work for what you have. I'm ready to accept the challenge." The challenge was monumental. Cleveland had not won a championship in any major sport since 1964. 52 years of heartbreak. The drive, the fumble, the shot, the move. A city defined by sports tragedy. And in 2016, LeBron found himself in the NBA Finals against a Golden State Warriors team that had just gone 73-9, the greatest regular season record in league history, led by the back-to-back MVP Stephen Curry. Cleveland fell behind 3-1. No team had ever come back from 3-1 in the finals. Ever. LeBron James, with Kyrie Irving by his side, did the impossible. He scored 41 points in Game 5, 41 more in Game 6, and in Game 7, in Oakland, against the greatest regular season team ever assembled, he authored a masterpiece. 27 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists, 3 blocks, 2 steals. The first triple-double in a Game 7 of the finals in decades. And that block on Iguodala, that impossible block. He won his third championship, his third finals MVP, and he delivered Cleveland its first title in 52 years. When that buzzer sounded, LeBron collapsed to the floor in tears. "Cleveland, this is for you," he sobbed. He had kept his promise. He would return to 4 more straight finals with Cleveland, 8 in a row total, going head-to-head with the Warriors dynasty. And in 2018, sensing a new chapter was needed, LeBron James made another stunning move. He signed with the Los Angeles Lakers, the most storied franchise in basketball, the home of Magic and Kareem and Kobe. And now, LeBron. He brought Anthony Davis to LA. And in the bubble of 2020, in the strangest season in NBA history, in the months following the tragic death of Kobe Bryant, LeBron led the Lakers to the championship. His 4th ring. His 4th Finals MVP, making him the only player ever to win Finals MVP with 3 different franchises. The accolades pile up like skyscrapers. 4 NBA championships, 4 MVPs, 4 Finals MVPs, more than 20 All-Star selections, 3 Olympic gold medals, and on February 7, 2023, in front of a packed Crypto.com arena, LeBron James pulled up from the right elbow, hit a fadeaway jumper, and surpassed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to become the NBA's all-time leading scorer, a record that had stood for nearly 40 years and that many believed would never be broken. He stood at center court, arms outstretched, and the league he had reshaped stopped to acknowledge the king. But statistics only tell part of the story. LeBron James is the rare athlete whose impact transcends the game. He opened the I Promise School in Akron in 2018, providing free education, free meals, and college tuition support to at-risk children, the children he used to be. He has used his platform fearlessly, speaking out on social justice, on education, on equity, even when told to shut up and dribble. He told the world he would not. He has built businesses, produced films, and became the first active NBA player ever to reach billionaire status. And on the court, he kept playing, into his late 30s, into his 40s. In 2024, at age 39, he was still an all-star, still leading the Lakers, still defying every law of athletic aging ever written. That same year, he won his 3rd Olympic gold medal in Paris, where he was named the U.S. flag bearer at the opening ceremonies. And then, in October 2024, LeBron James stepped onto an NBA court alongside his son, Bronny James, the first father and son to ever play together in an NBA game. A lifetime promise fulfilled. The arguments about where LeBron James ranks all time will rage forever. Michael Jordan loyalists will defend their king. Kareem and Magic and Kobe will always have their place. But LeBron's case is undeniable. The all-time leading scorer, the only player with championships and finals MVPs across 3 different franchises, a man who has played in more than 20 seasons at an elite level, who has appeared in 10 NBA finals, who took a city's 52-year curse and shattered it with his bare hands. From a kid moving 12 times before his 6th birthday. From a boy whose mother gave him up so he could have a child.